Hello! How's it going? I'm back with some FF14 for the first time in a while. Hope everybody's having a good day, good night, good evening, wherever you are. Hope all goes well. I'm a little rusty, so I was playing a bit earlier today. Noticed I was close enough to get a new bit of Black Mage gear, but I don't like the stats on this as much as what I have. Right? You can tell I'm rusty, because look at me navigate this menu. I don't want to give up that crit and determination. So, I'm just going to go right back into it. When one door closes. I think it kind of looks like we've got a new door. I'm not really sure. Or a new door. A new dungeon. I'm not really sure. So, we're going to kind of get right into it. Students of Baldesian request your presence in Charlayan at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped I too might be of service, but it is you alone that they require. If you've no pressing business, pray make your way to the Baldesian Annex at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. So we start right here like normal for the past while. Good old comfy Rods at Han with fantastic music. But we're going straight back to the students of Baldesian. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Adagia the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there's still much and more for her to see. Cute little baby dragon sister. Yeah, this is rather colorful for Alan Wake, huh? Very low poly, too. I'll have to see if I can turn on DLS. What's up, J. Hank? Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon, Varshan. We're going an ocean away, but I appreciate it. Game got so meta, it is now an MMORPG. Man, if it had a segment that mimicked an MMO, that'd be pretty wild. From one place with great music to another. Let's hit up old Charlayan. I'm a little rusty, but I was playing a couple of hours ago, so we'll see. Shouldn't be going through anything too hard, but there might be a new dungeon, which could be fun and cool. Let's go see Kryl. Kryl, are you a Pictomancer yet? I want the Realm job. We've got 2 new jobs incoming. Viper, which is like a dual wielder. Kind of, sort of based off Zidane, but also based off of, like, being a pirate. And Pictomancer, which is a new mage based off of Realm from FF6. But clearly, you can't just be sketching enemies all day long, so no idea how the jobs will really play yet. They've done like a small showcase, but they haven't shown off how their abilities actually work. But Kryl here is going to be our Pictomancer trainer, which is great. Kryl's great. She needs more screen time. She's finally going to get like more active in the group. Thanks for coming on short notice. And forgive us for sending for you so soon after your trials in the Void, to say nothing of your grueling battle against the 12. The battle against the 12 was cool, and our adventures in the Void were also cool and fun. There's no way the Warrior of Light didn't have a blast the whole time. A lot of jobs available. No one is homeless in the FF universe. There's old storyline stuff about that. But it's mostly addressed. I think there probably is still homelessness, but most nations are working to, like, get everybody working and taken care of. It's kind of weird how, like, a bunch of awful shit is going down in this universe, like, back to back to back. Especially considering the game's been going for 10 years and the plot has been going for like 1.5 or 2. There's like a total amount of time going that's not that long. But they don't have a lot of awful problems that real life has. Isn't escapism great? Forgive us for sending... I just said that. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who require your presence, but Erinville. Erinville's cool. I'm glad he's going to play like a main part in the next big upcoming expansion. He stopped by recently, you see, to ask us to reach out to you on his behalf. Cool, good. I imagine you're surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition, but he got back recently. In fact, at the end of the last expansion, we saw him appear with a pair of legs. Which, hilariously, when data mined, didn't even have a torso. But now we actually have the reveal of that character, and people are thirsty. Buff Catmom is here to stay. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. It depends. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on, like, which game and universe. Even in the Final Fantasy series. Some of them are better off than others. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes Rad to meet. We want to meet her too. She looks cool. I want to hear her voiced. Which probably won't happen in this expansion, this patch, but maybe. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the Studium. Should we look for him there? I guess we're going to the Studium. Weird way to say 13 sucks. 13 is fucked. On, like, a lot of different levels, including design and gameplay. Well, actually, the gameplay of 13, I kind of liked. And it was, like, the only thing I liked about it. 13, like, gets credit for introducing the stagger system, which a lot of Final Fantasies since have used, and is cool and good. But everything else about it has, like, the same problems that 15 has, wherein they were trying to do a lot and they kept remaking shit over and over in development. So they'll come out and be like, we spent 4 years working on this game. Well, actually, you spent 8 months working on this game and 3 years throwing shit away and remaking it. Yeah, I mean, the music is pretty good. I don't remember the music from 13. 15 has pretty good music. But, like, not enough of it. And its gameplay is, like, kind of almost trying to be 16, but they had no idea what they were doing, so it's more like bad Kingdom Hearts. It's kind of wacky. 15, like, has its moments, but it's another one where, like, 13 probably should have been 2 games. But the way they handled that first one was pretty bad, and then they had, like, 3 or 4 follow-ups. And, like, the final 1 or 2 I hear are pretty good, but I never fucking played them. And they're radically different and have nothing to do with the story of the first one. And the sequel to, like, 13-2 is just a whacked-out story from what I understand. Some people really like it, but I don't think it's really well-liked. 15 is, like, missing its entire back half. And you need to buy DLC in order to get all of your characters' storylines, which sucks. But those DLC were a lot better than the base game, gameplay-wise. So, like, you know, that game kind of sort of finally came out in a fucked up, incomplete state a couple of years after it initially came out. It was all because of the new graphics engine that 13 was so fucked. Maybe. Because they were doing 13, and then what ended up being 15, they were trying to do... They had their whole, like, Universalis Crystallis world going on, and so they're like, we're going to do a Final Fantasy 13, but there's going to be several follow-up games that are all in the same timeline and universe, and we're going to jump around and eventually tie everything together. And that is not what happened. Not even close. Well, no, 13-2 isn't Lightning being Jesus. 13, like, 3 and 4, and if it exists, because I totally forget all the expansions to 13 and 5, is Lightning being Jesus. Lightning being Norse Jesus. And maybe parts of it are they didn't get used to that engine in the time, and that's why everything is just a fucking hallway. and a lot of RPGs are just hallways, but like 13 is 30 or 40 hours of literally just straight hallways, and then a fight, and then a cutscene, and then a straight hallway, and then a fight, and then a cutscene. And there's some stuff to read in between, but it's like it has some cool shit going on and too much cutscene. And the combat's pretty good, but that doesn't make up for like the critical lack of everything else and a bunch of characters feeling kind of flat and not getting developed. I thought there were 2 Lightning Returns games. Like there was 13 and 13-2 and then 2 more Lightning games. Is there just one? I hear Lightning Returns is pretty okay, if that's the only one then. Because yeah, 13-2 is the really wacky time travel one. That's like, it's so weird. Anyway, 13 and 15 kind of have the same problem. 15 was originally supposed to be in the 13 universe, and then they scrapped that idea. So there's just a bunch of like changing their mind in the middle development. So the games come out in like radically incomplete states. Meanwhile, 16 was made by the team that made this game, and they didn't have that problem. They did have the problem of never making an action game before, though, and that shows. But I still like 16 a lot. And if people want to skip 13 and 15, that's okay. They look good. And 13 has good combat. And they both have pretty good music, and that's about all they have going for them. Lightning Returns might be a good action game. I don't know. Do good voice acting. What's up, Aaronville? You're cool. I can't wait to travel to a brand new continent with you. I'm gonna get a drink.
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important.
Nah, it's fine. I was just waiting around for months. I mean, a couple of days.
I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
To Liolol? Tural?
The New World. Tural.
There we go.
You
Can't wait.
Tural. Then the person who you wish to introduce
Is South American. I mean, actually,
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
the character everybody's newly thirsty for. Where is she?
Well, it seems you've lost her.
She was
Did
just
she
right
wander
behind you,
off?
right? I mean, she's in a brand new continent. She might be seeing some new shit. It's kind of surprising Charlayan let them in. But maybe they... There she is.
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Yeah, that accent, that axe,
While you were exploring, your candidate came to us.
that build.
This is her. The adventurer
They have to
across the
highlight the
seas
abs
to meet.
first.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain she's no ordinary woman.
I love your hat.
I'm Wuklamat, claimant to the throne of
Wuklamat.
Tulipalat.
I like you. From Tuliolol.
Tuliolol.
It's
Final Fantasy has that thing where you can
Tural's
play any of the franchise without any order and won't miss a thing. It really does. Like, that's one of the best things it has going for it. There's a few games out there like that. Or a few series out there like that. But I think it's one of the strongest things that Final Fantasy has. Like, the old jokes are, but don't I, Final Fantasy 16, but I don't want to play 15 games in order to get to the new one. It's a good thing you don't have to. Or, it doesn't sound very final. But, I mean, whatever. The first one, they thought it was going to be final. Tural's governing nation. Capital bears the same name. Did you know that the next expansion for FF14 is all South America? And probably has a plot line that's like South America versus Texas? Because magic oil? There's a cowboy town and then a bunch of... Ugh. I don't know. I think it looks cool, but who knows how they're going to handle it.
I'll get to the point. I want
I don't
you
think
to
there's an
come with me
Argentina
to my
equivalent.
homeland.
I would love to. Oh yeah, you could play all of them. That's tons of stream
Given the
possible. That's a lot of
magnitude the
content right there
request,
for sure.
Perhaps you should explain why you're making it.
Yeah, why do you want us to go? Looking at the map and how they have stuff laid out, I don't know if there's an Argentina equivalent. I think it's kind of just all Brazil and Mexico and then maybe Texas. Best country in the world? I'd love to visit. Why do you want us to go to Tuliolol?
Of course,
Oh,
of
I am having
course.
controller issues.
Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The right of succession.
And you want a foreigner to help us come in or help you come in and determine who the leader is. What's up, Gregorius? No, I'm literally just starting. Look, it's Wook Lamont. She's got a great hat.
Taking the form of a contest. It will determine who next ascends the throne.
Is it going to be
As
you?
daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention.
You're
of
a
winning.
warrior princess. I love that she's a warrior, right? She looks dope. I love her hat. I love her axe.
I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you.
The amount of memes Argentina spawns by day is fascinating. You never get bored of how paradoxical everything is. Yeah, Hrothgal with hat. Her hat's great. She looks amazing in cutscene. Not that we've seen that in this yet. We'll see it with Dawn Trail. I believe Argentina is full of memes. I saw one the other day, just randomly, that I think was like some graffiti of like some 80s or 90s American movie star and some other TV star and a politician. And I had no fucking clue what I was looking at. Searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. Yeah, I'm kind of
Mighty
number one
warrior
champion
who
around
knows
here.
No fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
I did do all those things. Erenville, you're gushing at me. Oh yeah,
She asked who Eorzea's greatest
hat
hero
plus
was,
Hrothgar.
and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
I don't know. It sounds like you were singing our praises, Erenville. Yeah, people are hyped for potential hat technology. A couple of races need
Now
new
you
hat
know
tech.
why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
Sure. We've never been there and we love adventuring.
Wait, let's all just slow down.
You just finished the MSQ, but never had a chance to do any of the content. Yeah, there's Hildebrand and Tataru and something on your island, but I don't know what else, right? Does the MSQ, Gregorius, does the MSQ contain a new dungeon? It looked like it. That's what's in my thumbnail. My thumbnail's going to look really weird if it doesn't. For example, during the pandemic, the government got a clown to announce the amount of kids affected by Corona during Kids Day. That's astonishing. That's appropriate for how we handled it. Well, I mean, for how much of the world handled it. But yeah, that's a reality being stranger than fiction moment right there. Don't tell them to slow down, Graha. I want to go.
Wooklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
I mean, maybe there's multiple royals?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one
You want
blessed
us to help you
heads besides.
usurp the current rulers. I don't know if... I don't know if Final Fantasy colonization is the way to go, but, you know, we'll see how this heads. It's not like we're making Eorzea in charge of South America equivalent, so that's fine.
He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
Wait, you're the daughter of the two-headed Mamulja?
So
I
that's
see.
the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Already, they're doing like, stop assuming, Europeans.
Hardly. I know little about
The
your
trial
land
comes from the
and
Hildebrand
nothing
quest?
about your parentage.
Okay.
But in my eagerness, I've
Oh, your
gotten
bro's
for
getting
myself.
married? That's
I
cool.
can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met.
I don't know, you seem cool and come from a new place we've never been. We're down to go. Easy. We'll at
If you have
least
any
travel.
questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me.
I mean, you have me sold right there.
No, this is only a rumor.
Does 13 have a pacifist or bad ending? I don't
But
think you can do
apparently,
that, Teddy.
The contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valiarmanda.
Valiarmanda.
Tell me that
They've showed
doesn't
off
pique your
3
interest.
big bosses so far. I don't know that that's one of them. That might be the big serpent. You have my complete attention. You said the word adventure. That's the magic word. That's all you need. I will change to warrior right now.
Along, you and I. Thrall has no shortage of unexplored frontiers and deadly fiends.
Unless you want to
Never
tank.
one
If
for
you
a
want to tank,
second,
that's cool.
I promise you.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
I don't know about that.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child.
Oh
Just
no.
because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Oh no, she's outing him. I love that you two have a history and can snicker at each other.
Lolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to grandfather.
Oh, and she's wearing the little 3-leaf clover bit she got in her grandfather's letter. That's cute. Kryl, hurry up and make
Regardless
Pictomancer
of what
available.
the contest may
I'm
entail,
eager.
It'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions.
Well, that's us.
So
Like,
let's
to
go
a
on
T.
hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
Yeah, she's showing off the abs. Gregorius, as soon as the newest trailer dropped and she was in it, artists went wild. As they always do. But like Alphino and Alizair looking a little older. Wuk looks super cool. Great design. She looked a bit bigger on the boat in the trailer, but she's pretty cute here. So, where to for our hunts? Stronger the prey, the better. Where are we going? Cool parts, bewildered and excited. Yeah, that's it. What's up, Deus? Yeah, exactly. Artists being thirsty? That never happens. The chance to see not only Thrall, but the fabled golden cities beside. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. We haven't seen anything of the Golden City shown off in official artwork. We have seen something that looks like the inside of a computer as a city. But with no people in it, because that would be too spoilery. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So let us begin to rectify that by first getting acquainted with our visitor and the manners she suggests. Yeah, let's go. Let's go do a dungeon. Wook. The Radion raid? It kind of does look like a raid. What do you think about that place, Gregorius? You pay more attention than any of my other viewers when it comes to 14 stuff. It's called Solution 9, right? So, like, the best theories I've seen out are people saying it's a city that saved itself from a calamity on the 9th shard. Or something like that. Which would have been more like electricity aligned, which is why they're all CPU. Yeah, they're bringing Cyberpunk in the middle of the South American update. Which, you know, cool. Do more different stuff. They haven't pulled too much... Like, people were talking about Final Fantasy IX, because Solution 9 is the name of one of Zidane's attacks. But that place doesn't look like FF9 at all. It looks like 13. I was at the guild earlier. I learned about a petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinary docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed that they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer this petition. Sure, let's the 4 of us go. Graha can be whatever. Kryl can be healer? Pictomancer? Woklamat's clearly a tank. Errol isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. Hey, we're like-minded, Lamont. I like you already. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Thural. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight, or it'll end before we even have the chance to get acquainted. A few minutes it's gonna mess up the lore, either have connections with a reflection or somehow some Allegan work that made it out. Yeah, I think it doesn't really look, to me, it doesn't really look like it's Allegan at all. But I've heard people talk about, like, maybe it's part of the Allegan Empire that broke off from Alleg, and so it didn't fall with the rest of them, because it was so far out anyway. I don't have any good guesses, to be perfectly honest. Like, the theory that it's a city from another shard that escaped a calamity is, like, the best guess I've seen. But I don't have any good reason to believe that. They've shown off tech that, like, looks maybe kind of Garlean, but that's just with the oil field stuff, the cerulean field stuff. And it doesn't really look Garlean. And none of it looks Allegan. So Allegan has a very distinct look. So, we'll see. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Like, please surprise. New is good. Before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions. My apologies, but I must do some preparation. Pray and go ahead to the Isle. Join you as soon as possible. Please come in as a Pictomancer. It's steampunk, kind of. People were expecting, like, maybe some FF7 Midgar influence. But, like, the areas that people are just calling Texas, right? They have, like, a bunch of cerulean pipelines, and it all looks oil fieldy. It's kind of like oil punk is its own thing. Or what's it called? Diesel punk is like steampunk, but dirtier. And so we might get some of that. I mean, mostly it just looks Wild West to me. It looks like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona style. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, should be simple enough to secure a vessel. Nice, let's do it. I'm assuming you're going to want me to DPS, because Woklamat looks like a warrior. In fact, we're almost certain. I think they've confirmed she is warrior tank. Where am I going? One thing we can all be sure of, and that was really funny during the last several presentations, is wherever we go, the music's going to be great. And every single time they showed off any new area with some music, Yoshi P had to be absolutely certain to, like, relay Soken's message of music is not final, still a work in progress. We promise it will be much better when the final product comes out. And I believe them. Soken kind of doesn't miss. What's up, Aaronville? Villain of a ship from one of the captains. A cheery fellow. I can operate the vessel, so we don't need to trouble him to take us. Nice. Graha. Crowell's acting a little strange, don't you think? This is just a simple hunt. I wonder what preparations she needs to take. She's becoming Pictomancer. She's changing jobs off screen. So we have to take a ship. We can barely set foot on dry land. Well, I suppose it's for a good cause. A hunt. Come on, let's get going. Upon boarding the ship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Nice. I've got plenty of time. There'll be battles. It's fine. Let's go. Show me Pictomancer Kryl. Maybe not until we get back? Not until later, huh? That's fine.
We must walk.
Well, we've been through this before.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd location for a bunch of ice, right? Some people who really don't like FF16. Opinions are very divided on 16. I like it a lot. My buddy Deus, not so much.
Like.
I totally understand a lot of the criticisms.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed
But it was a lot of fun to play
danger.
for me. And I like all the characters and
attack
plot.
Anything else unprovoked.
Hey, you're still here. Yeah, we've gone back and forth about that plenty. I'm not gonna say you're wrong about any criticisms. I'm not.
So this is the aisle where
They just,
ether
like-
literally bursts forth.
That's not a detraction for me.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
Oh, he's been here a bit. I love how Aaronville just has an extra pair of boots on his
He's
huge
like to tour
backpack.
facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
He does a lot of walking.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there.
Yeah, I mean, it
complete with
has
the
its
sun.
glaring flaws. 16 does. It really does. They were trying to keep it a Final Fantasy while doing an action game, and they did, but like that mixed a couple of things that didn't need to be
He
mixed.
has. Kono's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in the city.
And definitely some side quests are pretty great, and some of them suck and go on for too long.
He went on and on about technological amusements.
But God, it has
Maybe I
hype
have to come
music
here too one day.
and moments. And pretty good combat.
And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
I've seen people say that the DLC for it, which I haven't touched yet, actually adds some challenge to the game, which is, like, necessary. But it's still not, like, super hard.
He went to the studio.
Yeah, not all criticisms are objective.
Your brother must be quite
They're
a
very
scholar.
much, like, I think, especially with 16, a lot of it is down to taste. But there's, like, some things you can say objectively, like, a lot of crafting and material gathering in that game, like, exists for no reason. Some of it has, like, neat stories and world building associated with it, but a lot of it just doesn't. I think the DLC is out, yeah. The Leviathan DLC. I really haven't paid attention, though.
But I wonder. Like you, he'd be royalty, yes? When such a personage coming to Charlian to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see.
Your brother's Mikote and not Hrothgar.
One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
You would think his accent would at least give himself away to a little bit. But I guess they could know he was from Toral.
Questions myself, I can imagine.
And not that he was royalty.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
This character was designed to, like, be right up the Warrior of Light's alley.
Let's find them and learn what you can.
Aside from, like, designing a character to appeal to thirsty fan artists with big muscle girl with abs and a cute hat and face. And furries. She's just all about, like, let's go fighting and have an adventure. Oh, shit. We've, like, skipped the first third of this place.
There. The building to the northeast.
Northeast?
So ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
All of these are enemies in the dungeon.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me.
Nice, she is a tank.
Right.
Get in there.
What's our kill?
Oh god, controller, not now, not now. I need to time things. Give me my huge explosions. Oh god. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. If I lose my charges, I swear to god. Yo, I have this cable that came with my better remote. And it's, like, not giving me problems on my Victrix remote. But whenever I plug in my PS5 remote, it just can't stay connected, and I hate it. And I can never twist it right. Yeah, I mean, any anime fandom, anime game has an incredibly thirsty audience. Are we good? I think we're good.
Look.
Lost my
Someone's in
charges,
trouble.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also not into furries. And,
These
like,
animals are usually so docile.
find it off-putting. But I'm not gonna... I don't have anything against them, right? Like, some people are rabidly anti-furry, and I'm very much of the opinion of, like, let people enjoy themselves. They're not harming anything. I don't get it. And I don't particularly want to. But whatever. Hello. Thank goodness you've come. I'll take you to the one who answered our petition. I am. Adventure. I want to keep my charges, but I'm about to lose them. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I was suddenly found myself surrounded. Find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. So give me just a moment, I can finish checking our equipment. Oh, I can't.
You really
Okay,
are
nice.
famous.
I am.
And for good reason. as
I
you'll
will have a good
soon
rest of the
see for
stream, Deus.
yourself.
Enjoy your rest. As always, thanks for dropping by. I greatly appreciate it. We'll chat. If you've done any more FF7 Remake, I haven't caught it yet, but I will.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
I really wish I could Umbral Soul even without a charge. come to answer the petition, you should speak with my colleague. Oh, well, okay. The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume. We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. Yeah, I've been here a few times, though never this direction. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the isle in recent days. We believe its presence has affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find, and search for traces of the beast responsible for all of this. If you should find anything at all, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us. You understand me, quelling beasts is just murdering the local fauna. I love that this dungeon... Whoa. Whoa.
Is that all?
I want to be able to do that much damage as a warrior. That's not fair. And I mean,
These claw marks. I've seen their like before.
warrior does plenty of damage for a tank. It's not Dark Knight, but
It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
I couldn't tell what she did. And I think I have other player animations turned on. Where are we going? Has to be a clue here somewhere. How large do you suppose it is? Are we just going? Are you following me? Oh, there we go. Tattered plumage. Fine feathers are scattered about the ground. There are signs of a fierce
Feathers.
struggle.
But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
I mean, I'm definitely excited.
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
Roasted.
You presume
Well,
it's
I mean,
safe
it
to
depends.
eat.
I'm definitely looking forward to new job skills. I want to see Viper and Pictomancer, like, actually explained and shown off. And they talked, like, an expansion or two ago about,
Still fresh.
you know, running up
Whatever
against
this
the
beast,
limit
it
of how
cannot
many
be far.
buttons they can put on a class. Or on a job. She's definitely getting in there as a warrior. Yes, I did just scathe.
They're upset we disturbed their home.
Hey. Get the AoE again.
Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight,
But I
maybe
mean,
we got one.
new job actions are always hype. Are we both black maging it? I guess Erenville is kind of acting... Well, no. Graha gets to do whatever he wants.
Let's head
I do
back
more
and
damage,
report what
Graha.
we found.
But he loves it when I outdamage him. Let's be honest. I mean, it kind of looked like the beast was close, but we didn't see anything. Are we going to go back here? Graha loves it when I do big, cool spells. He's also doing big, cool spells. I love that she's a really eager, ginky adventurer. It's right up our alley. That's cool.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey.
She's a warrior through and through. I like it. There's our real hunt.
Ah! What is that thing?
It's just big. Come on. Oh no. Colibri or parrots?
It speaks?
It could mimic you. Wow, the other bird model just stopped animating. I'm really looking forward to the graphics update. It's so fucking subtle and small, but all of it looks really good.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Sold.
Come, Woklamat.
It's just a big bird. You're okay. Yeah, she froze. She was super excited over the big evil looking bird. And then the fancy, colorful looking bird that can parrot her was too much. Still, she's a big warrior. We got this.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
That's what startled means.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
Yeah, she's great. That's pretty good.
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
I'm looking forward to more of Woklamat. Already great character. Great introduction at the very least. Let's go, gang. Yeah.
Like bird, I'm going to have the last laugh.
First thing she does is charge in.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my
Oh,
teeth
I
into you.
don't worry about messing up her name. She can't hear you, and I know what you mean.
Shut up already, you blasted bird!
It's just gonna keep you mimicking you. It is cute that she's getting flustered at it, though. I should probably follow... Well, nope, never mind.
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Me neither. They're normally super tiny. What happened here? I mean, there's an abundance of Aether here, so that could be it.
Not good. Quickly!
Everybody gather. Thank you. No, let me...
I've got you.
One of you better help out. Can you... Are you gonna pull us? Yo!
That was too close.
That's not a thing Warrior does.
Steady now.
Oh my god, if they give Warrior the ability to pull allies... It's done. Best tank. Sorry, healers. You're not the only one who can rescue people into a hole anymore. Oh shit, that hit me. It's fine. Thank you, Graha. Where's my... There we go. I can't shield her, Graha. It's up to you.
Damn it.
Spread out, everyone.
Good, she knows. Ooh.
Pay for that.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That's fine. I can spam buttons pretty easily. Oh, shit. I'm the only one that got out. Oh, fuck, I need that thing gone. Start moving. Oh, oh, really? Damn, I might be kind of slow at this with this class, actually. No. Let me do something that doesn't have to cast. That's funny. That's real funny. Red Mage, actually. Oh, God. What happened to my Red Mage Glam? I I think we can do red mage. Oh, nice! Resume from midway? Yes, absolutely. Keep that shit on normal. I just need something that can cast a little bit faster. Black mage, beefy but slow.
Also you like fur. I'm going to have the last laugh.
That wasn't my... Where's my big mana? There's my big
Sinking
mana.
my teeth into you.
Oh, it's been so long.
Shut up already.
I hope you don't expect me to cure Graha. I can shield a little, though. Yeah, this should be fast enough.
Look out!
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Back in.
Quickly, gather together.
It seems a little bit more dynamic than
I've got you.
like other duties, right? They weren't moving to a spot and then I had to stack on them. They were actually going into my stack marker, which is super appreciated.
Steady now.
God, I love that sound. Like every fight, this is pretty easy when you know what's coming. Still gotta be on my toes to actually get them out of this next bit, though. Which I think is right here. There. Damn, it's not. I was hoping I'd have a charge for it. I might not now.
Spread out, everyone!
Oh, but I've got my energy, so that's fine. That's fine.
Pay for that.
I'm already mashing. That's fast enough. Right? Start moving. I'd be worried there for a second. Well, it's been forever since I've read Mage, but like, they have a good toolkit. That definitely hit. That's fine. Graha's got my back. Oh, of course. We're doing the separate wings thing? Which one are you focusing on? Yeah, she's a good character. Are you gonna LB? Do it. Oh, yeah!
Nothing to it.
Ooh.
Now, you loudmouth bastard!
Are they gonna... What's that fucking skill called? Not fell cleave, but like the big warrior like spin and smash. You're at work at the moment? Don't worry, like, if you just want to lurk, that is fine by me. I appreciate it either way. But yeah, she did a really, really big spin in Smash. Whatever the move is called on Warrior. It's been so long since I've played, I forget a lot of names. If they want to upgrade that and give us what she just did, fantastic. If they want to give Warriors the ability to pull people with chains, even more funny. Especially if we can use it on allies. You were scared earlier. Yep. Graha knows.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Is it just me or does he sound older?
Only to be expected.
They're
You
trying
were
real
pretty
hard to
impressive
make her
yourselves.
cute and
I was
succeeding.
right to invite you on a hunt.
It's not dead.
But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find something.
Aye,
Woof.
dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Uh-huh. Yes, it is right behind you. You might want to move.
Leave this to me.
Yeah! Yeah! Do it! Mog beam. Kryl. You're gonna have to show us what you've been cooking. When Graha doesn't even know what the hell that was.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
I'm just glad you're finally in the fight. It's been a long time coming.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
Nice, good. I'm glad she's excited. Did she paint herself a boat to get over here? Because that'd be pretty cool, actually.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
Mm-hmm.
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you.
You get to be two references in one character now, Kryl. Kryl and Realm.
In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wooklamat. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
You could have just told us to wait.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I mean, we weakened it. You know it. But it was pretty cool. Teach me how to do it.
Service.
May I ask
I don't know what I'm going to do
inspired
first.
this
Viper
change?
or Pictomancer.
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin.
I do like the castings.
Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar rather than join you.
Which is kind of what you've been doing the entire game, but like, it's about fucking time they let you get in on the fight.
It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again and again.
You've always been really smart and, like, a valuable member, but now you can actually do stuff.
That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute.
How are you gonna feel when you teach us how to do it and suddenly we're way better than you, like, immediately?
And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer.
She's cute. Cute. She's still capable and can join duties and trusts and such, so that's fantastic.
Pictomancy.
What? The esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon Realm? They're not even hiding it. That's not even a pun. That's just who it was. Realm existed in 14 at some point now.
As I recall,
I mean, different character, same name, of course, but still.
Effectively complement a certain someone's style.
You know what? Give Graha shit for that. He definitely did build his entire character around pleasing us.
What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
And again, it's about time she gets in on the action. Good for you, Kryle. Now teach me how to do it.
Indeed. I must say, you appear
He's
to
not
be
getting embarrassed
especially
about it
keen on
anymore.
being
He's having
involved in the
humility.
ritual of succession.
Which is maybe
Is there any
good
particular reason?
after Shadowbringers, really.
Yes, there is. This letter
It's
from
about
Tulio
time you shared that. Well, the Mott will also be quite interested to see it, though it's a very old
It
letter.
was addressed to my grandfather Galuf and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant.
Dawn servant, you say?
What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn Servant himself?
And now literally everybody's interested.
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Is your hat already the higher quality graphics engine? Because it looks pretty good.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
Even though it's like a decade old.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this.
Oh, really? Well, that's
Given how culturally
unexpected.
diverse Tuliyolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one.
That's a little odd.
The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no?
I mean, fair enough. You made Esperanto?
This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If father had written this, he would have been in Turali.
Turali.
And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So it's just wholly fake.
So the letter is fraudulent then?
I'm sorry about that charm you're wearing. It's still cute.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so
Huh.
perhaps he simply dictated it.
Oh, okay. ESL moment. That's cool. That's cool. Good. Wow. Good. Kryle is about to have her hopes smashed.
Thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuliyolal.
Tuliolal.
I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
The more we find out about it, the better.
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for
Please
one,
don't bring up how I failed the first time.
We're eating that.
It probably should be edible. It's just a big bird. Though, actually, we might want to know why it got so incredibly large before we eat it. The wildlife pacified and the researchers safe, our task is complete, and that just leaves the matter of the colibri beats. For better or worse, there's really only one place we can take it to here in Charlian, the last stand. Come, let us see what Dickon can cook up for us. You'll like this, Wuklamot. Food around here is extra plain and basic. Except for at the last stand, where their entire purpose is to combat the wholly British-like nature of the food in Charlian. Either way, it's just going to be like big chicken, so everybody can enjoy it. Everybody likes chicken, unless you're vegan or pescatarian. Which, I mean, fair. He's a famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I get you, Rad? Have you seen the giant 7-ton bird we're dragging behind us? Just the recipe, it's a new dish I recently learned from some sailors. And for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, you hear? That should probably be the case wherever I go throughout this entire continent. You're welcome. But, you know, we don't rub that in people's faces.
Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together.
Those bones are a little small for what we just killed. It looks great, though. Oh, wow, nice.
I'd heard that Charlian cuisine was terrible, but
Well,
this is fantastic.
I mean, you heard right, but it's a little different here. Is that tomato soup and green onions?
What is this? Oh, it
Or was it
smells
curry?
spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
You better. I mean, maybe he's just been spending too much time in Charlian. Oh, yeah? I need to take you to Radzat Han. God, jeez.
According to Dickon,
Pretty cute.
intensely hot dishes have become popular in Radzat Han after
Hey.
a traveler ordered a curry with several times
Hey.
the amount of spice.
Is this fucking reactive to my choice back then? Really? Really?
So he started off
'Cause 100% throw the habaneros in there.
Population here in Charlian.
I imagine it didn't go over too well here, actually. You can't just casually give British people ghost pepper.
It's nothing I can't handle.
Do you need some milk? Does Kitty need some milk? Yeah, that'll help.
Your boorish manners reflect
God, she's
poorly on both
Luffy.
of us. I wish you would consider your station.
Nah. Let her be Luffy with an axe.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
It's probably just a friend thing.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
She's got, like-
I've Steve since we were little.
She's got like almost Hildebrand level of facial animations going on.
I beg
It's
to
pretty
differ.
great.
She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
Cute.
I see. I see.
That's some
All
rather
this time you
dark
were from
bird
Tural.
meat.
Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
He said that already. A while
You
ago.
and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
I thought you fucking told... Aaronville, I thought you told that to us.
Well, if he's going to be a
Like a
miser,
long time
I'll
ago.
be happy to tell you about our homeland instead.
I thought we knew...
Since
Well, he
ancient
told us he was
times,
from the
many
New
peoples
World, so he
have
was
come
using
to
our
our
language and
home,
not saying
and they've been
Tural.
fighting each other for nearly as long.
But... I mean, same thing as far as Eorzeans are concerned.
Years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
Okay, cool.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Unity and diversity. Good
Since
idea.
then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
But you all, like, have a claim. It's probably not even claim-based. But it is good that it's not just going to be handed over to you immediately.
A man who's
I don't even know if she's like a ruler leader type, you know? There might be somebody else who's much better suited to it, and then she just joins us or does warrior things over in her country. But who do we not want on the throne?
Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural.
Oh, yeah?
While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
That's a really bad idea. I mean, they've heard about me, right?
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around right now. Too many people think it's a good idea.
I can't allow it.
Please don't break the table.
No matter what, I must win this contest.
I do still wonder if, like, we're going to be backing Wuklamat here, and then, like, any combination of Alizé, Alphano, Urianger, and Thancred are backing somebody else. It would make
I
for an
understand
interesting
your reasons.
dynamic.
But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Right. That's kind of a stretch. We've had enough interfering with nations as is.
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it.
Well, that's fucking different.
The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies.
That's fair. You've got some local allies too, though, right?
That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well.
You've determined that after literally the only thing I've said is adventures, you have my full attention.
And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tuliolal?
I mean, you're cool. So we're gonna say yes here, but I do want to see the other people. Because I don't know if you strike me as a leader type. But I don't know anything about the politics of Tuliolal
You don't need
yet.
to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph.
So,
over the
like, maybe?
competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
I always forget it's Baldessian. I always say Baldesian.
That's very kind of you.
Baldessian, Baldessian, Baldessian.
Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Are we going to do like a military political intervention? We've done that multiple times in the past. She's painting a picture that makes it seem like it's not going to be... Like, the locals and the leaders are not going to be opposed to us going in and helping her out. But I think it would look a whole lot better if she also had some local allies, right? Like, right now, it's well set up in a way that means we're not going to go over there and do a colonialism, which is good. But it would still be, yo, fucking cute. What hoodie is that? Gentle Bean parka. I mean, the Scions have... The Scions... That's pretty funny. They have the advantage of, like, not actually being representative of any specific nation, and instead being a band of a bunch of people from different areas all throughout Eorzea, which is kind of just like fantasy Europe. But yeah, the Scions sure do go around being kingmakers. Is the stream frozen? No, I haven't dropped a single frame. Although, hold on, let me check something. Like, my internet is good, I think. Though, I have one thing that I think is not working the way it should. Oh, no, it looks like it is, actually. Is it? A, I, U, E, O. Yeah, it's working. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it might be on your side. YouTube has been having problems recently, especially if you're watching, especially if you have an ad blocker installed, actually. I hear uBlock is handling it better. Whether Wilclamot has the makings of a ruler, I cannot say. Yeah, me neither. That's the only, like, reservation I have. But I do know that she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Well, that's good. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then, we want... I mean, I can just cook up some food in my off time, but... Tank food? Give me that. Okay. Whoop. Ooh. Gratia is mulling over what you have learned of Wilclamot and her plan. Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of Wilclamot's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Toral? Nomadon is bound to have some information on the continent. Wouldn't hurt to be more informed. We should maybe know things about the nation we're going to go influence. That would be good. Quite right. Not only would it help to make an informed decision, but if you choose to go, you'll be better prepared for what awaits. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. I could have called him a big book nerd. A big, boring book nerd. But, like... I like Graha. I definitely can see where people are coming from when they talk about, like, greatly disliking that he just kind of interjected himself into our adventures, but fucking he kind of saved our ass during Endwalker, or not Endwalker, Shadowbringer, and I think he's good. So I don't want to call him a big huge book nerd, even though he definitely is. Raw fans library date. It's unescapable, right? Where else would he take you on a date except his favorite bookstore? The origins of blue magic can be tracked back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki, a tribe in the distant continent of Toral. It's true. Blue has actually talked about Toral quite a bit. Though I don't think they ever called it Toral. They just said the New World. But they did mention the Wallaki a bunch. Tribe holds nature in its highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of wildlife around them. I like Blue Mage in this game. It could be cooler. It mostly exists as a way to, like, figure out really mechanically neat battles in that Colosseum. Looking forward to Beastmaster, though. That's going to be cool. Tribe holds nature in the highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of the wildlife around them. I forget the dude's name. The Blue Mage trainer is probably one of the most powerful people in this world outside of us. Just from, like, the implications of the spells that he went out and got and came back alive and knows how to use and can... He's really strong. He's just horrible with money. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. We might have to go keep oil barons outside of that place. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I finally managed to master the Wallaki's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. The reason I chose this color, as you will have doubtlessly gleaned, is for the significance it holds to the Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom this noble magic was born. It's pretty cool. I like Blue Magic. Like, I always love a good Blue Mage, of which there are not a ton, really. Or just Blue Mage as a job. Good old enemy skill materia. But it's like, it's pretty good in this game. Beastmaster seems... They're gonna have to do something radically different. Let's begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the three great continents of Toral. The former stretches from the east to the west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. Really, in contrast, the later extends to the far reaches of both northern and southern hemispheres, as a difference immediately presents itself in the form of climate variance. Oh, you were talking about Eorzea? Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east and west, but harsher when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Alligans, who rose to power in the Aldenard before advancing east into Ilsabard. Their movement would have been mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although the disparate tribes of Toral waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands, withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. Such was the way of it, until the leader of the Mamulja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it's a testament to the Autarch's greatness. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely painting it as, like, this is not Europe. This is very much a South America thing. And maybe, well, South and Middle America, and at least up to Texas, by the sound of it. I love people who have looked at the map, especially with Dawn Trail announcement, and been like, is this just fantasy real world geography? Yes. It kind of always has been, except there's mysteriously no Africa, but maybe there is, and it's just not on the map. It's not as connected. People always aim to south for Prospect. Historically, yeah. The global north has not been so kind to the global south. Lots and lots and lots of exploitation going on that there. So we'll see And Final Fantasy as a series has always been like really, really anti colonialization and even industrialization. So we'll see what they have to say about like empire and oil and stuff when we go over to North and South America, but Final Fantasy version. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Toral is no exception. Yet while some of her creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many and more exist that are rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a select variety of species as described in the testimonies of sailors and adventurers. The alpaca, cool. Accustomed to Toral's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Soft white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden, somewhere in between sheep and goats. And camel. The wyvern. This ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Toral. The Mamulja have succeeded in taming them and utilize their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the wyvern is also employed as a siege beast. Enemy fortifications cannot long withstand the horned brute's rampage. I'm reading that wyvern, which sounds like wyvern, but maybe not. Empire, oil, military. I mean, no, it does sound familiar. And Final Fantasy has always touched on stuff like that, right? Like, a bunch of people I know, I think my first Final Fantasy was 4, but then I've gone back and played a bunch of them, and like, empire and industrialization is a huge part of 6 and 7. And like in 7, you begin the game as eco-terrorists. And like, magical oil that is literally the lifeblood of the planet is one of the central themes of 7. And so like the exploitation thereof, and yeah, it's Final Fantasy has, except for like the first, well, it hasn't had much to say about industrialization in the first like 4, but empire is a thing going back as far as like 2. So it's very anti-imperial, anti-military, anti-natural exploitation for sure. And yeah, that seems to be always relevant, right? Velagarmanda, something Woklamat mentioned, which I think might be the big serpent, but I haven't looked in a minute. Toral folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Oh, Woklamat seems to have confirmed it, though. So have, you know, recent big streams. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzean cuisine without speaking of the land from which many of our modern-day staples hail, the far western continent of Toral. Really? Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, and even the ubiquitous popoto, these crops and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables, trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. They would have got most of their spices and vegetables from not fantasy Britain. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Lemonson sailor named Ketenram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the therefore unknown continent. Ketenram spent several moons exploring inland, in this course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamulja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won, along with permission to roam freely. Ketenram would return to Toral several times, but during his first expedition he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seed to bring back to Limsa Lominsa. The most notable of these was the popoto, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. Yeah, that thing's been everywhere. I have a bunch of dishes that use popoto. Produce was far from the only bounty of Ketenram's expeditions in Toral. Many tantalizing recipes, such as the bean-filled burrito and the gripping legends such as that of the Golden City, reached out to shores by way of his ship. To those outside of Ketenram's circle, Thrall largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. This was never brought up in the culinary quests, as far as I can remember. Having perused a wide selection of books relating to Thrall, you're somewhat better informed about your potential destination, yet no better informed about who I should choose as a leader. What do you think about that, Graha? Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. Well, there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Thrall. I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. Come, let's continue this outside. The Memets do not take kindly to chatter. You know, people have been back and forth about how are they going to handle fantasy South America, North America. I think the real possible criticism of like Eorzean British equivalents is if we ever do fantasy India. But I don't think that like Charlayan and Eorzea have really done colonizer stuff in that area of Hydaelyn. So like the most criticism Square gets is how they handled Stormblood stuff and just kind of ignoring China. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I mean, it sounds cool is my honest impression, but it doesn't help me choose whether or not I want to... We have to go there and see the other candidates to know which one I want to support as a leader. Look, Wuklamot seems cool, but I don't know if she's like a leader type, you know? Couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. Was pleasantly surprised to find references to Thrall within. You're gonna love their tacos. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? You know what? Ketenram sounded like a cool adventurer guy. That was neat to read about. Please make a fantasy version of Southeast Asia. You'll be proud. Yeah, I think there's a lot of neat stuff that doesn't get shown off enough from regions like that. Right? Like, especially in something like Final Fantasy. It has its staples of pulling from, like, some Japanese lore and a lot of European lore. This is especially notable in the summons. But you have Shiva and Ifrit and Azura right there. Do more of that. We'll see. If we ever get an expansion that has, like, Mericidia in it, maybe. Right. But I think that's north? Maybe I'm wrong. No, Mericidia is southeast of Eorzea. Yeah, honestly, I feel like a lot of people from where I'm from get offended on behalf of other people. And it's really weird. One of my favorite stories from a streamer that I like a lot about this sort of thing is they lived up in Canada and they had a Japanese sailor troupe come by. Or not sailor troupe, it was like a performance troupe. And they were doing the Soran Bushi, right? Dakoisho, dakoisho, Soran, Soran. And after the big performance where they were doing like the dance of the fishermen, they started handing out or selling like clothing and paraphernalia is probably the wrong word, but they started selling stuff that looked like, you know, culturally traditional Japanese fishing stuff to people in attendance. And some of the more like white yuppie people up in Canada were like talking to the rest of the audience like, you shouldn't buy that because it's cultural appropriation and that's a bad thing. You don't you don't want to like steal their culture. And the performance troupe had to come over and be like, bitch, we love sharing our culture. We want you to buy our merchandise. It's the whole fucking reason we're here. We get to share our culture and experience your culture, and we're all better for it. Like, shut up. So yeah, I think more diversity and like more exposure of like fantasy and legend stuff. You know, you could make fantasy Southeast Asia and have a bunch of geography and legends and adventures in a setting like this that you haven't seen in Final Fantasy at all, or other fantasy games at all, much at all. That's part of why Kenna was so cool, right? It pulled a lot from around there, and it made it kind of unique. Ah yes, the renowned Lumensin explorer who traveled the Indigo Deep and discovered the unknown West. But his accomplishments didn't end there. He traveled Tural extensively and even forged a friendship with the Dawn Servant. If we were able to meet Ketenram, what things we could learn. Alas, all of this happened nigh fourscore years ago. Isn't a score only like 24? And he may not be able to be alive to tell his tales. What if he's Elizin and just lives for a really fuck off long time? But moving on, did you perchance learn aught about the fauna of Tural? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. Alpacas seem cute. I'm actually interested in... Well, I mean, Velagarmonda was listed as a legend, but Wuklamot made it sound like she's totally familiar with it. Now, where do I get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against that fell beast? Of course! Let's go fight the big cool monster. Who do you think I am? Fortunately, I found scant details on your would-be prey. One source simply described it as enormous, winged creature with scales hard as steel that rules the skies. That sounds dope. That does sound like the kind of the Eastern-style feathered serpent. I should like to see it with my own eyes, presuming it even exists. Precisely. Thought I heard familiar voices. What's up, Alize? Alpha No. You two have been out of the picture for an appropriate amount of time. How you doing? Fancy running into the two of you here. Well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Razat Han, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. That includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints of history and how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. Well, we're about to go to a melting pot. What of the two of you? What endeavor brings you here this day? We're going to Tuliolol. It kind of lines up with the thing you just said about a bunch of mixing cultures. You can stay and help Garlemald rebuild, though. That would also be appropriate. A nation composed of the disparate peoples of Tural. Why, that's precisely what we're looking for. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We do well to read up on Tuliolol ourselves. Or experience it. Feel free to join us in, like, traveling. The contest? Is Rad the only one allowed to help Wuklamot? There was no mention of such restrictions, as I recall. On the contrary, Wuklamot gave us the impression that she could have several champions. Yeah, I mean, she wanted me and Graha and Kryl. And I guess Erenville might count. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alpha, though. We have planning to do. Are you going to go see the other contestants? Because that's like my bank. That's my bet. Consumer plans have changed. If you'll excuse me. It would be interesting to have all the Scions backing different people. It's like a peaceful competition. But then you could actually have conversations about the different alignments of the different people running for ruler over in Thrall. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the Annex. I've done enough reading, Graha. Let's move on. You can return... Oh, the Annex, not the Studium. Yes. Let's go back to the Baldessian Annex. Baldessian sounds like a British way of saying it, instead of Baldesian. Like, I have a British aunt, and I can imagine her saying it that way. Which fits with Charlayan being, like, kind of the British Isles. Previously in control of and conspiring against a lot of the rest of Eorzea, playing it from the shadows.
Oh, it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story.
I mean, we have no idea who the other... We don't know anything about Thrall yet. We don't know what their politics are like. We don't know what the other contestants are like and what their politics are like. Woklamat hasn't talked to us about
my friend,
what she wants to do with the nation at all.
Accept or refuse Woklamat's request?
She's a cool adventurer, so I'm inclined to accept it. But I just don't know. I am kind of disinclined to get involved in politics. But more than that, we never say no to a new adventure. We did never. We haven't been there yet. Emmett Selk told us to go see it, because we haven't been there yet. Who am I to say no to that?
I thought you might say that. With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well. Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not?
It is. It is, and that's why we're definitely saying yes and going. It's just weird to be like, yeah, I'll go help decide how this government of a foreign nation should move forward because I love adventure. It's a mixed bag. I'm interested to see where things go.
Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Thrall remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core.
Way to quote Heidlin there, buddy. That's gonna stir something in us as well.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road.
That's like the core thesis of Final Fantasy right there.
But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I'm still very much a fan of all of this Endwalker stuff.
Ah, but there's an idea.
Like the theme of it being wrapping up everything and then moving on to something new. This game needed that.
I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please go on inside. I will join you shortly.
I feel like Graha's being a lot more adult here than he has recently. Which again, like I said earlier, makes a lot of sense after he merged with his other form from the first. And like remembers all of it. Kind of like it's a different person. You... Of course you're skulking about spying on us. But like with the 12 raid, he was still a giddy student who was super hyped to just be on an adventure with us where we discover the 12, and he's like just walking alongside his Oshi, the Warrior of Light. Well, now I need to see what Thancred and Urianger are up to, because they might be doing something else. Already supporting someone else. That's what I want to be the case. Welcome back, Rad. If you're looking for Woklamat, she's currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I can go and fetch them for you. Or I could join them in their chambers, either way. Understood. Please wait in the main hall. Can do. Oh, I forgot about... That's so much better. But I have to learn a whole new... Like... I had the repair loop down before, and now I gotta learn it with different buttons. Let's see. I've done Black Mage and Red Mage. I want to do... Yeah! Is this my monk get up? It's a Reaper. What did I have monk looking like? Yeah, okay. I can do a little better than that, I think. Askeret. We'll do this. I like this clothing. I'll dress up for Woklamat. She definitely hasn't seen clothing like this. Actually, I don't know that. She's the one with a cool techno city at the north end of her continent. Maybe she's seen way more wildly varied threads than what I've got on.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on, then. Let's hear it.
We're going on an adventure. What do you think we're doing? I wish to boldly go where I've never gone before. Jesus. That's... Sure, yeah, let's quote Star Trek. Let's do it. Why wouldn't I?
You need me as much as I need you. Together, we'll blaze new trails in Tural.
Let's go make you the leader of this nation that I know nothing about. Also, I don't know anything about your politics.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
Oh, so you are coming with me. I mean, we knew Alphanol was.
Alphano,
And it felt like Graha was so far here. But is Alze also backing us up?
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see.
Now we're only
I told
missing
them
a
about
few.
Woklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100
I
things about
like
us
her.
You could have told her, and you chose that.
Well, you are kind of toad-like, Alize.
First impressions last.
He knows! I like Erenville a lot. I like him a lot.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your
He
acquaintance, Your
he
Highness.
doesn't get enough screen time before this,
Alpha
so I'm glad he's
Leveilleur
getting a
at your
lot
service, and this is my
with the
sister,
new
Alize.
expansion.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles.
I like Woklamat.
So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
I like her.
Indeed we do.
It's also very, like... endearing to their Japanese audience in a like completely not Japanese way. Or how do I say that? The trope where like they really like people who are not traditional, right?
We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort
Please,
in
please no
Garlemald.
titles.
Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say.
You don't know anything
I'm
about her
keen to learn
politics
about
yet,
Eosia
Alphino.
And Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Nah, you're coming with us.
Nonsense. Like I told you before, you're indispensable.
We should probably have at least 2 people from Toral in this party.
They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of
I mean, we're
anyone
good enough
better
at that
suited to
ourselves.
task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
God, I really can't wait for the graphics update so there's no more pixelation in his hair and outfit. In every outfit.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Was she?
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
Who's gonna stay behind to help with that? We've seen all the other Scions in the trailer, so we know they're going.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
Graha, we know you're going.
But, Raha...
We know you're coming with us.
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you
Then
seize it.
again, it wouldn't be the first time that the FF14 crew released a trailer that was just lies.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
I kind of can't believe he's volunteering to stay behind.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all. to
That's
help me win the
unexpected.
throne.
She does the same fist emote that we do.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
We all know we have unlimited funds.
There.
Hey!
My friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loporrits. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies.
You can see Marasidia from there, too.
The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
Yeah, look at that! There's more to the south. Good. And you can see, like, there's a lot more over in Hingashi that we haven't explored. God, I love that this is still, like, an ancient map, and that the edges of it are just surrounded by dragons. Literal here be dragons. No Africa, though. That's a weird choice. There's an Australia. I guess Eorzea is supposed to be... Eorzea is just Fantasy Europe, though. There's a lot more in the middle around Garlean that we haven't touched. Sure. I guess is that Radzat-Han? Down in the Australia area? No, Radzat-Han, like, is my mouse showing up? Radzat-Han is, like, here. Which is kind of our fantasy India. But, like, where is... Do you think Eorzea is Africa? Africa would be more, like... There's more space down here. I feel like it's more Europe. Just dragged down. Yeah, Eorzea definitely is, like, the center of it all. And there's talk of it being, like, extra aether rich. This may or may not be why all calamities hit in Eorzea instead of everywhere or random spots, right? So I guess it makes sense that it's, like, Africa and Europe smashed together. But I was kind of hoping for more down here. Like, I want a bigger India and another South continent here. But maybe it's just a giant Australia. And so this is Mericidia and other stuff. But hey, we do get North and South America in Thrall. And that's pretty cool. I guess Ul'dah is a little Middle Eastern. Oh, I might be getting copyright claimed on audio. I think that song does it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. This video is not going to be monetized anyway. And the song rules. That didn't take too long. That's just like one of 3 quests, right? Hey, is it just me, or... Yeah, Mordana Lake is the center? Absolutely. Crystal Tier Lake. Is it just me, or does this art and the upcoming, or not upcoming, but like the Dawn Trail expansion trailer make Alphinaud and Alizé look like a little older? Yeah, exactly. That's why the 12 were in that lake, or above the lake. What is that mace? Man, this type of art, I need to find out exactly which artist does this. Because this type of art always reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics art. Which is one of my favorite stylings. Like, I really like 9. But this is one of my favorite styles of Final Fantasy art. Easy. Right behind Amano, of course. Godlike Yoshitaka Amano. Yeah, and Midgardsormr, and yeah, a lot of the like super important history happened on that lake. Or around that lake. Allegan was not too far off. Right? The portal and the way we visit the first is on that lake. Yeah. I mean, Crystal Tower was super important. I think Graha over on the first would have probably grabbed us from anywhere, right? That's a great Uriange. A lot of details in those cards. Tataru. I'll be doing your stuff, but probably not on stream. Looking forward to it, though. Tataru's Grand Adventures quests are pretty good. First time we met Venat was, yeah, also on that lake. It was a very, like, hey, speaking of... Looking good there, Heidelin. Venat. Wow, Barbarisha, Cagnazio, and Rubicante. This is a very final Endwalker bit right here. God. I still can't believe people want Xenos to come back. We had enough Xenos, and he had a great farewell. Then again, people are also still simps for, like, Garlean being evil. And I'm glad the reaction to that is, fuck off. An empire deserved to fall. Ishikawa! Right, great stuff. Christopher Koji Fox. Though, Catherine there, the new English localization lead. I beat the game! What's up, Reforged? It was actually... I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. But this is very much like a Endwalker credits thing. I mean, we're already... I feel like the last patch was... Did it say AI localizers? I wasn't looking. I don't think they have AI localizing going on here. At least not in English. Yeah, I feel like the last patch was really the end of Endwalker, you know? This is definitely 7.0 setup. Post Endwalker stuff. Give me that Radzahan music. Oh yeah, just more recently. Yeah. There's definitely some stuff out there that's clearly been written by AI, and it sounds like it. I would not be surprised if we find out eventually that the new Silent Hill is written by AI, because it's garbage and just, like, baffling. All the stuff with, like, the SAG-AFTRA union giving in to AI voice work, that's wild. Coming out and being like, we've spoken to all of our talents and this is our agreement, and then every single voice actor talent comes out and is like, fuck you, none of us heard about this or want any of it. Get that AI shit out of here, actually, please. That agreement could be, like, a lot worse. Was Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, like, translated by AI or something? Or, like, one of the manga? Because I watched the anime, first season in Japanese and second season in English, and they didn't seem AI translated. But if new translations are, that's sad, because I really like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That's a very fun, wholesome sit-down. I say wholesome. There's a lot of, like, haha booba going on in Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. But that's too bad. That's a fun series. I'm gonna have to look into that. because I don't want that to be the case, but I have no reason to disbelieve you. There's been too much AI going around recently. I want to say it's like a fad, right? Because it's like Bitcoin and NFTs. It's just the next step of that. There's always, every 4 or 5 years, there's just some big tech scam that every CEO and capitalist who has no idea what the hell they're talking about hops onto, because it's the next big thing. And everybody fucking hates it, but they don't know that. Like, there's a lot of neat things you can do with AI, but then applying it to creative stuff and taking away people's jobs. We're seeing that just about everywhere right now. I really do hope, like Bitcoin and NFTs, it fails super hard somewhat soon. But it will have to not be profitable for that, right? Because that's how things work. And like the SAG-AFTRA voice acting stuff, I don't know about translation stuff, but voice acting stuff, it sucks, but it could be a lot worse. The whole agreement, while it does allow AI voice acting use, which nobody likes, whatever voice actor's voice is being AI-ified, they have to pay that actor as if they were doing the actual work, right? So that's something. But of course, who determines how many hours they get paid when an AI did 400 or more hours of voice acting work in 4 hours? So who knows? Don't I want to buy your busty dragon maid NFTs? Are they Bored Ape busty dragon maid NFTs? God, my favorite, single, unquestionably favorite bit of news about NFT stuff happened like a month or 2 ago, when there was a big like NFT bro convention gathering, and it turns out, instead of like the people who built their cool futuristic, ooh, I like this, I love this remix. This remix fucking owns. Oh, it looks like my audio. No, okay. So my favorite thing about NFTs recently, there's a big convention of like, I don't know if it was the Bored Ape people or not, but a little while ago, wow, my OBS looks like it's lagging somewhat fierce. Anyway, there's a big like NFT, not festival because it was smaller than that, but like big gathering get-together thing. And it turns out the people who are setting up their like stage, meeting room, festival, gathering area, instead of using black lights, they used like ultraviolet lights. And so everybody who went there the next day were like, why is my skin burning? Why are my eyes burning? Why are some of us partially blind now? Because you're all gigantic idiots. That's what you get for like NFT level nonsense. That's the intellect going on behind those people. Welcome back, J. Hank. Yeah, I think I expected more. I think I did 1 quest and I thought there was 3. So I'm going to see after this, and I'm probably getting copyright claimed, but not struck because of the music going on here. Not this song, but earlier. But I think there's like 2 more quests. Not counting the Hildebrand stuff, not counting the Tataru stuff. They're just like doing end of expansion credits right now, which is a little odd because I feel that would be more appropriate for the last patch. whenever we had the end of this Zero Golbez stuff. And I've seen complaints about that. I really liked it. But I'm also a huge FF4 simp. You're watching a documentary on Petscop? So you can watch this? That's fine. I know you're not a huge 14 person. Gregorius and I have been talking back and forth here. It is all good. What's Petscop? I have no idea what that is. It's not an NFT wankfest, is it? It's hell. Go ahead and spoil me. I don't know what Petscop is at all. Not an MMO person. Super fair. Subscription services are hard to get around, and like you have to really like source material or the way the game plays. It's hell with PS1 graphics. I mean, that sounds pretty all right. YouTube horror web series. Wait, Tony DeMonico. Where do I know that name? Oh, is this like a made-up PlayStation game? That's a cool idea. I saw there was someone who put out something similar to this idea. There was an artist who put out a like game walkthrough guide for a video game that doesn't exist. But they had like lore and world description and like literally there were control commands, literally everything except for direct screenshots, and it was really interesting. It's an ARG that got super popular, and it's pretty mind-screwy. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. It's got its own channel. 500,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah, that's like kind of PS1 graphics-y. So they've like made their own, it's like a let's play of a PS1 game that doesn't exist. This looks like Parappa. Or Alone in the Dark. Like there's some real juxtaposition going on here in these screenshots. That's neat. You want IGPX remastered? I don't know what that is. I want another really good Parasite Eve game. And by another, I mean just one, please. I mean, Parasite Eve 2 is pretty good. FF14 remaster win. We're getting a graphics update. It'll look slightly better. Baby. Immortal Grand Prix. Mecha racing. Huh. That's a nice combo. That's cool. Did Square sell the IP? I think after Parasite Eve 2 they discovered that they basically couldn't own the IP, right? Like the reason Parasite Eve 3 is so wildly different and has nothing to do with the first two is because it was all based off of a book, and eventually the author or like the author's family was like, hey, please stop directly ripping off our shit. You can't do that anymore. And Square was like, aw, okay. You're right. Yeah, FF14 did get lucky enough to already have a revival. Look up D-Make AC6. Cool. I like D-Makes. That Bloodborne D-Make is amazing. And, like, lovingly crafted. And I can't fucking wait for Bloodborne Kart to come out. It's pretty close. A GPX is F1 Racing with Max. Yeah, that's what the wiki looks like. I'm interested. It's got a very 90s anime art style. Oh, it came out in 2003. Gotcha. Yeah, you could do a lot with that. Especially after, what's that Studio Trigger racing movie that's, like, fucking crazy and almost bankrupted the studio? There's already a remake of AC6 called Last Raven. Last Raven's really fucking good. I saw people have already, like a while ago, modded AC6 to work more like AC4. Which I'm certain completely breaks the game. I don't know if it's better. AC6 is pretty fucking good. Last Raven is hard to beat, though. I think ultimately I like the music in Last Raven more. It's hard to say though. From has like a really cool catalog of music where a bunch of people think about like Demon Souls, which has amazing music, and Dark Souls and Elden Ring having really cool, really great soundtracks. But if you look at the Armored Core soundtracks, they're like all over the place, right? It's hard for me to choose what I like most because there's some like really amazing tracks in AC4 and 2 and 1 for the time. And then like a few in 6 that I really like. But there's like stark competition there. They have a white and black glint unsung in AC6. That's cool. I didn't know that they'd actually like modded them in. I've seen mods that like mechanically change the game to work more like AC4, which I'm interested in trying out because AC4 was crazy. Those nexts moving faster than that series has ever moved before, and then 5 had to tone it back, but like wasn't as good, and then 6 had to tone it back to like 2 and 3, and is, well, it's still faster than those actually. It's a lot faster than 2 and 3. Regulations. Is that a track title? I'm so bad with nouns. Oh, is that the mod? Oh. No. Four answer is just crazy. I haven't even thought about 4 answer mods. Yeah, I mean, AC4 is like absolute breakneck mech combat. It's so fast. All right, they've run out of art. I'm gonna skip this. AC4 was crazy. Absolutely nutty crazy. Unless you wonder about your passage to Erenville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please. Oh, I did do more than one quest, didn't I? Shit. Please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack may it serve you well in your coming adventures. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. That sounds like wait until next patch. Oh, cool! We get Aaronville's backpack. I'm okay with that. Magic Kojima particles mixed with coral? Yeah. That'd be... Meanwhile, I love a good meanwhile. In Limsa, we didn't see you at all. It would be pretty crazy. Internet got way too funky yesterday at the end of my Alan Wake stream. Glad you saw the VOD. Oh, yeah, my internet was giving out a little bit at points. So if, like, you were also having internet problems, even if you weren't, like, definitely my shit got choppy. That game looks so fucking good. I can't wait to get back to it. We're going to be doing Saga stuff next time. What are you up to, Estinian? Do you have such bad directional sense that you accidentally get on a ship bound for Toral?
May I ask your destination?
Where are you going?
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
You're not gonna join us on this adventure over to Toral, and we're gonna meet up accidentally anyway, aren't we?
West, you say?
Does Limsa even have ships going out to Toral? It's never been mentioned before. You've got fishing vessels that go deep sea. But I think the only ones with any trade with Toral are Old Charlayan. Ranger. Or mid-January and it's already been a wild month? I agree. Everywhere you look, too.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
For 14, you only know about the not safe for work servers. There is a lot of that in cosplay. I don't know about servers at all, but there's a lot of, like, places you can go where a lot of NSFW roleplay happens. And I stay the hell away from that. I do PvP before I do any of that. What are you two planning?
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
You are going to go support somebody else, aren't you?
Indeed. It will be.
Yeah, good. That's exactly what I wanted.
Them.
If the
Oh my God,
prospect
Urgenji,
doth
you're so
trouble thee,
dramatic.
It is not too late to decline the petition.
Don't decline it. Compete with us.
Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
I would love to compete with two of the smartest
Then
members
let
of the
us delay no
Scions, except
further,
where's
and secure
Stola?
passage on a vessel.
I've seen some of the Hollow Girls play it. Yeah, there's a bunch of Niji people getting into it. Too. Well, like, there's several Niji people that have been into it for a long time, and then they got a bunch more people into it recently, too. So, yeah, there's a few options there if you want to watch people play it, like, from the beginning or around the beginning. There's a lot of FF14 stuff. There's a ton of story here. Every expansion
Come, my friend.
is like
We make for Toral.
at least 60 or 70% of the size of a regular Final Fantasy game. And it mostly just keeps getting better. Though the very beginning is a little rocky. Like, J. Hank was not wrong when he said earlier that FF14 was very lucky that this game had a revival. It launched in a fucked up state that was bad.
Have you been to the ruins beneath the
Emmett!
waters of the Bounty?
No, I haven't. I don't even know where that is, actually.
Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north?
No. Dude's just gonna show up in my head and remind me that even after Dawn Trail, there's a bunch of shit we haven't seen. Mention Mericidia. I want to see that place more.
Cities of the New World.
Oh, this is just a memory. This is exactly what he said earlier in Endwalker. Seeing a bunch of drama with Ubisoft not wanting people to own their own games. Yes, that's a thing recently. It's dumb as hell. Ubisoft execs coming out and being like, gamers are just going to have to get used to maybe not owning their own games. Because maybe we weigh anchor now, the tide is high, and dawn of a new adventure is nigh. Yes, please. Row forth to break horizons bond and tread the gilded path beyond. I'm waiting for it. I'm kind of hyped for Dawn Trail. Give me radically new stuff. There, that's the actual end of it. And I think I'm not going to do Hildebrand stuff tonight, which might be the new dungeon. And not going to do Tatsuru stuff. Might not even do that on camera. But, yeah, Ubisoft, what was it? They were like... They were talking about... I mean, J. Hank, you... That's exactly where I was going, honestly. They mentioned something about, like, gamers may just have to get used to not owning the games that they buy. And that's dumb. Imagine buying a thing only to not own it. I say as I play an MMO that I pay for monthly that could go offline and never be available again. But yeah, like Ubisoft and Epic Game Store stuff, they try to have their own launchers and their own shit that, like, they won't guarantee forever, which is why Steam is still such a big deal. Like, you get to keep those games for fucking ever unless they contain, like, hyper illegal content, in which they take them off Steam eventually. But I think if you've downloaded it and installed it, you still have it available and can launch it anyway. But yeah, if they want to be like, I don't know, we're going to make the next Fortnite, only it's a thing that you log into, but don't actually have installed on your computer. So if we decide to ban you from it or take it offline eventually, then hey, that thing you paid for, you don't own it anymore. That just encourages piracy, and in fact makes piracy correct. Not to mention that, like, I don't know what YouTube's thoughts on me saying stuff like this is, but, you know, as long as Ubisoft and Blizzard remain, like, rape factories towards their own employees, then you should pirate their stuff. Just go ahead and do it. It's the morally correct thing to do, in my opinion. Is 14 expensive? Not, I mean, from my perspective, not really. And in fact, I think it might do the Warframe thing of actually varying up how much you have to pay based on where you live in the world. But maybe not, because you can kind of get around that with a VPN. I think it's like 12. It depends on how much time you sign up for at once, right? You can pay like monthly or monthly, but you're signing up for a 6-month subscription, or monthly, but you're signing up for a year-long subscription. And if you do that, it's cheaper. I think if you do that, it's like $12 a month $12 US a month. Which, like, where I am is less than going out for fast food, right? Destiny 2 takes most of your money annually. I've heard bad things about Destiny 2 monetization recently, but it's not a thing I pay attention to, so I couldn't tell you any details. I've just heard it's getting worse. Yeah, I mean, you know, you should buy Alan Wake 2 on the PS5, because then you don't have to deal with the Epic Game Store, which is horrible. I have modded my game. Not really modded. Well, yeah, I have modified game files on my system so that I'm playing it on PC without having to go through the Epic Game Store at all. So they don't have their achievement shit pop up, and so they don't have to check to see if their own servers are online for me to play an offline game, which helps me run the game better because it's already like a graphically intense game for my GPU and CPU. And Epic Game Store is bad. It would also... okay, PS5 has games. It has games, J-Hank. They're there. They exist. I promise you, they exist. I could stream one right now, except it would look bad because I'm using the, like, remote PS5 play, and that looks awful. I need to get an actual capture card for whenever Remake comes out at the end of next month. But, I mean, it doesn't have enough games. That's for fucking sure. It's got a few that aren't on everything else. And it's, you know, it's doing better than Xbox. Lots of remakes and re-releases. That's true. I'm gonna have to look into Armored Core emulators because I know nothing about that. But God, AC6 is still so good. I signed in for the first time a week or two ago to get those new parts that they added, and they're all like ultra lightweight, so I don't know that I'm gonna be using them at all. But some of them look kind of neat. And played like a little bit of the PvP and went through a couple of missions just because it's super fucking good. There's a Discord server for it. Cool. Cool. I can probably just Google Armored Core Emulator Discord and find it. Or maybe find it on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, there's some PS5 games, and some of them are pretty good. What I'm glad for is that we're seeing a lot of really, really super great, like, indie and small-time games coming out. There's a lot of, like, Vampire Survivor knockoff. I mean, that's just become its own new genre. Bullet Heavens are now a thing, and there's several really good ones out there. You know, Reforged, in my options, I'm pretty sure I have links enabled. But I think Tiberian Fiend has had problems dropping links. So maybe not. You can definitely directly message it to me on Twitter, if you have one. I'm very rarely on Discord, but you can send me a message on Discord as well. Bum, bum, bum. Let me boot that up. Yeah, I know. Twitter is like more hyper garbage by the day. My X account. God damn, YouTube swapped up fucking info pages, so like it doesn't show anymore, right? I think it's in my description. Yeah, it's in my description. It's just Rad Mahou. It's in my About section, which is no longer a link. You have to click on the little arrow. I don't know why they did that. It would be nice if they did it to, like, improve YouTube performance, but as we all know, YouTube has actually decreased their performance recently. Did you send me a meme on Discord, J. Hank? I don't think I have any messages from you ever. But like, wait, no way. Oh, right. Discord did the thing where, like, you no longer have to have a big long string of letters and numbers after your Discord name. Oh, on Eric's server. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm in, like, Eric and Bree and Deus's server, and I never check them. I really should. Didn't have Twitter installed on your new phone? That's fair. That's probably healthy. That's probably a good thing. But like on Twitter, I'm Rad Mahou. On Discord, I'm Rad Mahou. Let me disable streamer mode in Discord and see if that shows up any, or gives me any extra information. Nah, just Rad Mahou on both Twitter and Discord. You only use Twitter for anime pictures? Well, there's lots of those. Ah, a MILF I see. Yeah, she's pretty great. You might like, kind of along the same vein, you might like, what's her name, Hina? Over at Phase Connect, or certain Tiberian, I forget their names. There's some JP girls Tiberian is a fan of that are, they boobily breast everywhere they go. Very, very jiggly. You love Hina? Hey, you know already. I'm a big Phase Connect fan. And yeah, Hina has a pretty gorgeous model. I mean, they've all got pretty great models. But if you're a fan of Fauna, you might be a fan of Hina. And hey, confirmed. You know, it's in PMs out of nowhere. It's like strange sending a meme and not knowing who sent it. Yeah, but I mean, if you sent me anything on... I totally get that on, like, people you don't really know. I don't reach out to people I don't know enough, like, as a VTuber. But yeah, it's awkward. Twitter can be extremely toxic. But I mean, so can Reddit, you know. That's a good choice. Beforged. Lord and Leader Primarch of the Death Guard. Chapter of Mold. Haven't some other Phase Connect members had more mold problems than Pippa? She definitely has a bigger audience that will absolutely hound her for it, though. That's for sure. Pippa's great. Pippa fucking skyrocketed in popularity and deserved to. She's a powerhouse of a content creator for sure. Yeah, they're all great. I'm a huge Tenma fan. Rabbit VTubers are always unhinged. I wouldn't call Pekora unhinged. But yeah, they tend to go that way. Sent you a meme, by the way, on Jank. I mean, kind of, yeah. But that's how you get started, right? And, like, I know who you are on Twitter. And if you sent me a message directly on Discord, I know who you are. But, of course, again, I'm rarely on Discord. You think she is? Oh, man. My OBS is lagging. It does not like... All my bars stop working whenever I'm not, like, having it focused. It's still smooth, though. I don't know. I think there's more unhinged Hollow members than... Like, I almost think Iris or Miko or Ame are more unhinged. But I don't watch a lot of Hollow Live anymore. I mostly just catch clips. They got some bad news recently, right? That sucks. I liked Mel. She was a lot of fun. Anyway, we've been chatting for a bit, and I greatly appreciate it. I think I'm gonna go play some Baldur's Gate and make some dinner. Or maybe some Warframe. There's more stuff to do in 14 too, but I think we're going to save that for later. Because I'm not streaming tomorrow, I don't think. Today's Wednesday? Yeah, I'm not streaming tomorrow. Friday, we got more Alan Wake coming up. And we're going back to Saga. Red knows my identity and soon my location. I'm not trying to hunt you down, J. Hank. Strap you in a chair, watch my stream. That's not how this works. Though it fucking could. So no worries about that. No need to worry there. I am not currently inside your walls or sitting on the roof of your house, immune to the weather. Cause I fucking control it locally, small scale. Anyway. J. Hank, Reforged, Gregorius, Deus, Teddy, dropping in for one line that's total nonsense and then leaving. As always, I greatly appreciate y'all being here. Love this game and I can't wait for Dawn Trail to come out. Probably gonna do the rest of this stuff offline and off stream. But shit's good. You can play FF14 for free for the first first two expansions and the base game if you want to check it out. I like the way it plays. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. It's J. Hank, Reforged, everybody else. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Adios. Bye-bye.